Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is episode number 27 of Tell Me What You Know. Today is October 29th. 27, they're the 27 Club. We could just die after this, and hopefully our podcast lives on in infamy, like Amy Winehouse and Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix and all that.
They were all 27 when they died?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So maybe we'll just have like a ritual.
I wonder how old Chris Farley was. He was probably around that time, too.
He's probably a little older, I think.
You think he was a little older?
Young 30s, maybe.
Biggie, Tupac, they were much younger.
I have no idea.
They were like, that was like 23.
Yeah, let's see.
23, 24.
He was definitely older than 27. Anyway, 27 episodes.
27 episodes.
We're 27 and we just hit 1,000 listens.
Yeah, a little more than.
Yeah.
54 topics.
Not bad.
Yeah.
We're cranking them out.
Yeah.
And not anywhere close to stopping.
I've come up with like 10 good topics. So
now the pressure's on.
Get ready.
Now the pressure's on you to deliver on those.
Yeah. I got a good one today. It's timely.
Okay. All right. Great.
Yeah.
Like I said, today's the 29th. Halloween's right around the corner. 2 days, 3 days.
Are you going as anything?
No.
No? Are you like planning on doing anything for Halloween?
I don't know. What's going on?
I don't know. Nothing.
Are you going to get a party or something to go to?
No.
It's Thursday night, right?
Yeah. We're going to have a little birthday thing. If people want to get dressed up for my birthday.
Yeah. Are you going to dress up for your birthday?
No.
Okay.
No.
Maybe I'll get one of those inflatable suits that looks like an alien's carrying you away. Have you seen those?
No.
Those the ones like looks like a person's riding an ostrich or something like that.
Yeah.
Now they have one. It's like an alien and it looks like it's just carrying you away.
Oh, like he's abducting you?
Right. Exactly.
I like that.
It's pretty cool.
I was going to go with this beard. I was going to be Dr. Richard Kimball from The Fugitive. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to put on just like an orange jumpsuit and carry around a prosthetic arm.
Yeah.
Really bringing in a lot of our topics.
That's right.
Everybody, that would be what I would go as if I were going. As I was saying, I rarely dress up, but I like it that people do it.
Yeah, I agree. I like being told what to wear. I don't like having to be creative on my own.
Yeah, it's true.
You be this. And
you dress up when you want to do it.
That's right.
Have you seen any good costumes so far, though, like celebrities or anything?
No, but I feel like this Halloween has lasted for weeks already.
Yeah.
And it's not even Halloween.
It's not even Halloween. People don't dress up afterwards. Like, is the dress up weekend always the weekend before Halloween?
It's gotta be, right?
Okay. I always loved going to Georgia, Florida, and people would dress up for it, though.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
That's coming up this weekend as well.
Go Dogs.
World's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yes. Nothing like hanging around at the landing and just spilling Chinese food all over yourself.
Oh, that's fantastic.
2:00 on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. It's going to be. You kids stay safe down there.
Right. Stay safe. You want to jump into it?
Let's do it. I want to hear this topic.
Okay. Michael, tell me what you know about gender reveals.
Oh, I did see what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like
maybe save that spot.
Yeah.
All right.
It's I don't know when this began, but again, I think social media did this. I don't think they did this before social media. I don't think this was a thing. But yeah, you invite your friends over to your house. You have a little party, a little barbecue, and then at the end of it, or at like the climax of the party, you destroy something, and the destruction color is supposed to be blue or pink,
right?
And it's supposed to show people what gender your child is going to be.
That's right.
We need the anticipation. We absolutely need the theatrics.
You know what we need? We need one more party before the wedding.
Let's please. Is there another thing I can get you?
Oh, this is the baby
another
shower.
gift.
Sorry, this is after the wedding. Yeah, hopefully after the wedding.
Yeah, hopefully after the wedding. Yeah. I mean, it's just another reason to have people over to your house and have them dote on you.
Yeah. You have engagement parties, then you have bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. You got a wedding, then you're gonna have a bridal shower, and then you got baby showers, and you have a gender reveal party.
If you have friends, you rarely do anything just cause. Mm-hmm. It has to have something around it, some structure.
Right.
You could. I mean, what? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can eat it already.
Yeah.
So you are right. I'm pretty sure that this wasn't around before social media. The first recorded gender reveal in history. There was a blogger in 2008 named Jenna Karavunidis. She posted about a party where they revealed the sex of her baby. And that kind of just
It's a meme.
spread.
It was a meme. Became a meme.
Right. Kicked off the trend. The idea spread from there. And of course, Instagram and Pinterest came in like 2010. and people saw it as they get these, you get likes, you get engagement, and you like that. And so people started doing that a lot more. Apparently, there's over 500,000 videos on YouTube of people cutting cakes and popping balloons and whatnot, showing confetti that's going to reveal the gender of their kid.
Just 500,000 videos?
Over 500,000.
Over 500,000 videos.
From what I saw.
It's got to be way more. Right. Oh, yeah.
They're not always fun and games, though, Michael. In fact, they can be super dangerous.
Oh, man.
So I've got 3 examples of big-time gender reveal fails. Do you want to start with the lightest and go to the darkest, or let's get the darkest out of the way and go to the lightest?
No, let's start light and go deep.
Okay, perfect. This was a couple years ago in Australia on the Gold Coast.
Okay.
A couple was having a gender reveal party. They're on a road out on the Gold Coast, and they got a drone and a bunch of family members there filming. The guy decides to do a big burnout in his car, so he starts spinning his tires while not going anywhere, causing smoke. And poof, big cloud of smoke comes out, revealing the gender of the baby, but the car also bursts into flames. So the car catches on fire. They have to jump out of the car. The guy gets charged with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle. He's fined $1,000 and loses his license for 6 months.
Wow.
It was a boy.
Okay. Obviously.
So yeah, I mean, I guess all the smoke, burnouts are dangerous in general, I guess. Add in a bunch of colored powder and maybe just goes up in flames.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this guy was a professional driver.
Doesn't seem like
Doesn't seem like that.
I don't know. Maybe he was. Could happen to anybody.
I guess.
This one comes from your home state.
I know
Arizona.
this one. I think I know this one. Yeah.
April 2017. An off-duty Border Patrol agent decided to have a gender reveal party.
Yep.
So instead of just having a balloon or a cake that they would pop or cut into, he set up a target, filled it with tannerite. You know what tannerite is? It's a compound, a substance basically that they use for target shooting, because when you shoot it, it explodes and makes a loud pop, so you know you hit your target. It's more fun, whatever.
Right.
It's explosive though. It exploded. He shot
he hit it.
He shot it with a bullet and it exploded super hard.
Yeah.
When they did that, it set off an explosion, obviously, and then started a fire. And this fire burned almost 47,000 acres of southern Arizona.
Yeah.
Caused more than $8 million in damage. The guy pled guilty to a misdemeanor violation of Forest Service regulations and has to pay more than $8 million in restitution.
$8 million.
Over in monthly charges.
Wow.
Yeah. He also had to make a public service announcement as well.
No jail time.
No.
Okay.
There's a misdemeanor charge, but you got to pay the money back, I guess, right? 47,000 acres.
Well, that puts you into bankruptcy, I would assume.
I guess. I don't know. He's a Border Patrol agent. I don't think they get paid a ton of money.
Not $8 million worth.
Right. Well, that's monthly installments.
A monthly installment.
It was $100,000 up front.
He had to pay $100,000 up front to make the deal?
I guess.
So he had to find somebody to give him $100,000 for this thing?
Right.
All to just review. I hope
he
got a lot of likes.
I hope he didn't. You better monetize that video on YouTube.
Better. Better get like 1 million views, $3,500.
Yeah. Whew. So he had to make a public service announcement. He had to pay the money back and the restitution. CNN reported the family hadn't revealed the gender, which I thought was funny because there's just a ton of blue smoke popping up out of the thing. But maybe they're more woke and they're just kind of like.
I hope all 47,000 acres burned in the same color.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You could see from space what gender this baby was going to be.
That's true. So those two, while dangerous, not super dark. This next one.
No one got hurt.
This next one happened recently, July of this year.
Yeah, I saw this.
In Knoxville, Iowa. Gender reveal party ended in death. So a family thought they would build a contraption for a fun gender reveal party. They made a homemade stand, a tube welded to a metal base. They drilled a hole in the side of the tube, filled the tube with gunpowder, made a hole for the fuse. They put a piece of wood on top of the gunpowder. Then on top of that, they put the colored powder for the reveal, right? Fun. Sounds great.
I mean, the
idea is that it'll just explode into the air and powder will go everywhere. And people are like, oh, yay.
This family sounds like real Nikola Teslas.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So what they didn't realize is that when they put tape over the top of the tube, they pretty much caused a pipe bomb.
Right.
They built a pipe bomb. It exploded. Piece of shrapnel struck a 56-year-old woman who was more than 45 feet away, killed her on impact.
On impact?
Sad. Yeah. I think she was the grandmother.
Yeah.
Really sad stuff. Super quick way to put a damper on your gender reveal
Just
party.
go to Amazon and buy whatever thing they have.
Yeah.
Get a piñata.
Hey, do nothing.
Yeah, that's another great idea. Just announce it. Or don't.
I mean, I try to be of the school of thought. Like, if it makes you happy, it doesn't affect me, go for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a little bit dangerous.
It's causing death now.
Yeah. Maybe just be a little smarter about it.
Yeah.
There are other examples that are a little more lighthearted. I don't know if you saw Gordon Hayward's gender reveal party about 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. So he already had two little girls. And apparently his wife pulls him outside to do this gender reveal party, kind of like surprises him with it. He walks out. He looks kind of like he doesn't want to be there. The box opens up. Pink balloons come flying out for his third girl. And, He's like, he kind of like half-hearted like kicks a balloon. And his wife goes, "Is Daddy happy?" And he's just so dejected. He goes, "Daddy's always happy." Just a perfect video.
Just
Yeah.
Did you see Kirk Cousins? Like, he had one where he had to throw a football and
almost
had to
missed
hit
the
the target.
target.
He missed it from almost missed it from like 5
Right.
feet away.
Right. Well, there's a ton of those. There's a ton
Yeah.
of those that are like, semi-fails, so nobody really gets hurt, but they're
Right.
pretty freaking funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Like somebody will have a helium balloon and it won't pop and then it'll just float off into the air and it's just gone.
You never know what the
Yeah.
gender's going to be.
I saw one. The expecting mother tossed a baseball that is presumably filled with the powder or whatever, and her husband just rockets it right back in her face and it doesn't break. I mean, it's great.
Yeah. You're getting a stitch or two for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe a little broken nose.
Or maybe just a shot of whiskey.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the content.
It's the content. Yeah.
I saw a father broke his ankle while kicking a football. He slipped and fell back and just snapped his ankle. That one made me want to cry this morning when I was watching that. This one's about as Louisiana as it gets. A family had a live gator there, and they had taken a watermelon and filled it up with what looked like Jell-O, and then tossed it in the gator's mouth, and it just chomped down, and blue Jell-O came flying out.
I kind of like that. I'd go see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite one that I saw. So this is straight from an article I read. After guests at a gender reveal party released a confetti cannon in the parking lot of an Ohio Applebee's, management asked them to clean up their mess. The guests refused, and several of them retaliated by reportedly throwing menus at the hostess.
Oh, they got aggravated. Are they got into a fight about this?
Fight at Applebee's. Nothing screams the magic of childbirth like fighting at an Ohio Applebee's.
Yeah,
that's probably actually just an Ohio tradition, I think, though.
That's very well true.
Yeah,
it could be true.
Yeah. Do you want kids, Michael?
I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence.
I'm on the fence.
If you do want to have
I'm
kids,
not having a gender reveal.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right. Let's just say you did. What would be
Piñata.
Oh, just piñata?
Oh, I love piñatas.
So boring.
What would be yours?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
I mean, I could get more creative.
Yeah.
But I like piñatas.
Okay.
Piñatas are fun.
I like piñatas. The guy likes piñatas.
Yeah, I mean,
What can I say?
yeah, from Arizona.
Yeah, so that's gender reveals. Be careful out there if you're gonna go and have a little party for your.
You might as well wear a bulletproof vest and stand behind something big.
Seriously sad about that family.
That's so sad. I mean,
Iowa.
take something just. Oh man, I just couldn't imagine that. And like on impact, so you're dealing with it like, oh, maybe she's okay. Like get a. Oh no. Oh man,
that's probably
bad.
how it went, Michael.
That's probably how it went.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gender reveals for you.
Good topic.
Thanks.
I'm glad we didn't go political.
Yeah, I mean, there's
There is a
obviously
political slant to it.
Yeah, of course.
There's-
I mean, people think that. There are people that have the opinion. I don't know where I fall on this, but that like, it's a spectrum. So like, saying that your kid is going to be a boy or a girl before it's even born.
This the whole gender thing.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just for
All right.
It's
whatever.
content.
Whatever. Well, this weekend, November 1st through the 3rd. November 3rd is a big day. Do you know what November 3rd is?
It's like Guy Fawkes Day.
No, that's November 5th. Remember the 5th of November.
Gotcha. November
No.
3rd. No.
Michael, tell me what you know about daylight saving time.
Fall back.
Fall
so
back.
we're gonna gain an hour.
Lose an hour.
Okay.
We're fall back. Spring forward. Fall back.
We'll lose an hour.
Yeah.
So we have less sleep on one night.
No. You'll get more sleep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Off to a hot start here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at 1 a.m. at 1:50 at 1:59 a.m.
Yeah.
it goes back to 1 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We replay the same hour.
Yes. Got it. Excellent. I forgot about that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I always, when I was living in South America, it was, it's summertime down there and they don't do daylight savings time. So when we would fall back here in the States, it just meant that like the 4:30 football games now started at 6:30 on Sundays. So it just really made my Sundays a lot longer.
A lot longer.
It made my Mondays a lot worse.
Right.
Because the night games wouldn't start until 10:30.
Everything gets later.
Yeah, and I'd be up until like 2 a.m. watching football.
I didn't realize in researching the topic how much of a global issue it still is. Not still is, but it affects everybody really.
Yeah, I mean, time zones are one of the most confusing things in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it China's one time zone, I think?
I believe that's true.
Okay. Daylight savings time, anyway, my thought is that because the days, because of where the way the Earth is tilted,
Okay.
our days are already shorter. So we fall back an hour so it's still a little bit light outside at like 5:30.
Well, so okay. Well, we're gonna start with a misconception here. I hear a lot of people say daylight savings time. It's daylight saving time. You can say daylight savings. That's where the plural comes in. All these
Is it a
idiots-
possessive?
Yeah. Well, it's a plural.
It's savings is time.
Daylight savings.
Daylight saving
Yeah.
time. I always get confused by when it's like when we put a time on an event and it's either like EST or EDT. So it's either Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time. I never know when to use which one.
I'm not sure.
So when we
I always do.
So on November 3rd, are we in daylight
EST.
saving time?
Well, so DST, like daylight saving time.
Okay.
Like, so we're coming up to the part where daylight saving times ends, right? So in spring, it begins. In the fall, it ends. Okay.
Okay.
And it just goes back to standard time.
So right now it's 11:57 EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. And on November 3rd, it'll be Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Yeah?
Don't quote me, but yeah.
Well, you just said it. So.
All right. Well, it was first proposed by George Hudson of New Zealand in 1895. He was an entomologist.
A Kiwi.
A Kiwi. He was an entomologist, and he
bug
wanted
kiwi.
more. He wanted more time looking for bugs. He was a modern day an old time Travis Dorsey.
That's right.
Wanted more time looking for bugs. It was then independently thought of again by a British guy, an English builder named William Willett. He had a lot of money. He's out in the morning on a morning ride on his horse, and he has this idea, this epiphany. Hey, we should have one more extra day. He also was an avid golfer. Yeah, he wanted the whole idea is to have more time in the summer when you can be outside, like after working hours. That's essentially why we have it.
Okay.
That's like the rationale behind it.
Makes sense.
But yeah, he was an avid golfer. Golf comes in again, Michael. More time to finish his round. He wanted an extra hour.
And as everyone knows, the round of golf takes 9 hours.
Takes a long, long time. So yeah, the rationale is in the summer, when the days are longer, shifting the clocks forward gives everyone more time, more daylight. It was theorized to also save more energy because you'd be outside more, you'd be up more when the light was there. So therefore you would, be running your lights less in your house. This was like another rationale. It was bigger. This point was a little bit more convincing when things were run off more of like coal, and also during World War I when people were trying to like save resources. That's when this really gained steam. After William Willett brought this up, he wrote an opinion about this and presented it in front of Parliament in 1905, and it didn't happen until World War I, and he died in 1915. So he didn't even really see this. He didn't ever get to finish a round of golf.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like the rationale.
Okay.
Save more energy. Hey, we're in wartime. So after World War I, a lot of people were like, "Oh, we don't need to do this anymore. Let's get rid of it." Different country. I mean, there are so many different states and different countries that enact it in different times. Germany was the first one to really enact it full time. And then the U.S. kind of followed suit. France, Britain, everyone kind of adopted this.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been, like Churchill had come out and said that, more daylight time is the way to make people healthier and happier. And so we need to give people more daylight. That was sort of his opinion on it. So there are a lot of problems with it, or a lot of people have varying opinions about it. And it kind of depends on where you are in society. So farmers don't like it.
Okay.
Partly because, and I don't understand why they can't just shift their time. So like before, people didn't do, like the time didn't change, but people would change times at which they did things. So rather than changing like the clock back an hour, we'll just meet at 8 instead of meeting at 9. but
Right.
it's still the same time.
Right.
We're not changing time, but we're just changing when we do stuff. So let's just get in, knock this work day out, and then we'll have all this time in the afternoon with the same daylight hours. It basically accomplishes the same
Yeah.
thing. But for farmers, like their workers start at 8 o'clock. Like they're paying you to be there at 8. Now when it falls back, goes forward, now it's like really 9 a.m. And if you're like a dairy farmer, supposedly cows don't like changing their schedule very much.
No.
They get temperamental. So that kind of weighs in. So few of us now are farmers. I think I would rather be more utilitarian
Wow.
and saying, I'm sorry, farmers.
Wow.
I'm just saying change the time you do stuff.
You can't. What if the cow don't want to give us milk up?
I don't know. I mean, this is just a cow.
Okay.
People should be drinking less milk anyways.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Bleeding heart vegan across the table from me.
So this energy issue, it really doesn't save that much energy. The discrepancy is only like 1% less energy. So people bring up there are other better ways to save energy, like air conditioners use like more than 10% of all the energy we use. So some people theorize that giving people more time up during the day, they actually run their air conditioner longer. So it actually is a net negative for energy use. So it's I'm kind of on the fence. Like it seems like kind of a wash, and this seems like more of a lifestyle thing than it is a energy saver thing.
Yeah. Yeah, air conditioning. I lived for several years without air conditioning, and you get used to it. I mean, you get used to being miserable.
You just kind of get used to being a little sweaty all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a luxury that I would
There,
would not be quick to give up. But
bringing up air conditioning, I'm in Arizona. Every place has air conditioning. A lot of places before, like I left, had seemed to put in like misters, so you could sit outside and have like a little.
Yeah.
Anyways, Arizona and Hawaii are the two states in the United States that don't do daylight savings time.
Right.
Daylight saving time.
yeah,
There are. What's interesting though, I didn't know this even when I was living in Arizona. The Navajo Nation inside does do daylight saving time, and the Hopi reservation does not, and they have land inside of the Navajo reservation, and the Navajo reservation even has another little portion inside of the Hopi reservation that does acknowledge daylight saving time, and the Hopi have another reservation
Shut the fuck up.
outside of their
Stop
main
talking.
thing. It's crazy. The point is that you could drive across like northern Arizona and go through time zones like 4 times, like daylight saving time 4 times if you drove in the right places. Kind of crazy.
it's like if you crack open a jawbreaker and you just see the layers.
Exactly.
like-
You're just like constantly going like, where am I? This wasn't actually standardized until 1966 with the Uniform Time Act.
Okay.
That also standardized time zones in the United States.
Right.
So that before this was sort of wishy-washy, I guess. I'm interested actually in reading a little bit more about that, but yeah, it was just sort of like, I think we're in this time zone now. Like, no, like it standardized it in 1966. It has less an effect, daylight saving time has less an effect on you if you live in the western portion of your time zone, and has more of an effect if you live on the eastern portion of your time zone. So like Chicago lives on the far east side of Central Time. You know, it's like just over the border. So they would get a big impact of daylight saving time.
Right.
It doesn't affect people that live closer to the equator,
Right.
and it
Makes
affects
sense.
people less who live closer to the poles. So it's kind of in this middle Goldilocks zone
Just right.
latitude, yeah,
Yeah.
to be.
Okay.
So because like in the summertime, like it's daylight the entire day in like
Right.
Iceland or something, and then in the equator, it's like pretty much always hot. So it doesn't really change anything for you. So the effectiveness or like the need to have it, I think it's very particular to people that live in a certain place. Now, a lot of people live in that Goldilocks zone in like Europe and the United States, China, and there are a lot of people there. But yeah, it's sort of up to debate how much it actually helps you.
Do you know do more countries do daylight saving time, or do fewer countries? Wait.
The map of it is insane.
Yeah.
The map of time zones is
Yeah.
insane. Like it just like they color things differently. I looked at
Right.
it. Maybe on our video I'll pop it up.
Well, maps are
It's
weird
just
as well
constantly
because
all over
they're
the
not.
thing,
They
all
don't
over the
take
place.
into effect the spherical. Like it's hard. The time zones look skewed.
Right. When
obviously.
you look at it, it's going to be weird.
unless you're looking at Kyrie Irving's map, in which case
Yeah, then it's flat.
just a flat Earth.
Yeah. This doesn't.
What do you
Flat
think?
earthers don't really do this.
Do you think that this? Yeah. Do you think that this idea came about between the time that people used sundials and then started using analog clocks? Because a sundial essentially tell you the same time no matter what, right?
Yes.
Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna
Like
you're not
8
gonna tell the sundial to actually actually
8
change. It's not a
8
manual clock.
8
Michael.
a.m. on November right. 8 a.m. on like November 15th is a different hour technically of the day than 8 a.m. July 15th.
Well,
On the sundial.
no, you're
but
right.
It's still
Like,
going to say 8 a.m.
there are different ways that people track time, and sometimes they track time just based on how much sunlight is there versus not there.
My brain is in a pretzel right now.
Yeah. Oh, this can bend back on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a total logistical nightmare.
I'm still thinking about the Navajo.
Right. Oh, that's a complete
And the
crazy. But yeah, it's a logistical nightmare, and I didn't even really realize this, but spring forward, fall back in the southern hemisphere would be opposite. So like we would even pick up 2 hours on Australia. Australia does do daylight saving times. So like if you're having to book a meeting with somebody who lives in Sydney,
Yeah.
sometimes of the year they're 2 hours ahead, and then in daylight saving time they fall back 2 hours. It's just a bunch of craziness.
I think you've said daylight savings time.
Yeah, I know.
8 times
Because
since you
that's
told
why that
me.
was my first bullet point. It's the biggest thing. People always mess
You
it
say
up.
Valentine's Day too?
This is interesting. The health-related benefits and sometimes detriments of this. The week after daylight saving time ends, so next week,
Uh-huh.
is one of the least productive weeks of the year. It costs billions of dollars in productivity.
How? You get 1 extra hour of sleep.
You wake up and you actually feel less tired because you do get an extra hour that one day, but then you have sleep deprivation through the whole week. And you're also waking up and it's nighttime and you're going home and it's like now you're driving home at 4:30 and it's dark. And it's a very depressing time. Heart attacks, the risk of heart attack increases by 10% during this time.
Why?
People get more agitated. They're more on edge, and the sleep deprivation might push people over who are already like unhealthy, borderline like ready to pop. They go, and this is like one way to do it. Sorry, we got dark with
So have your gender reveal
and-
party this weekend.
Yeah, more car accidents happen, partly because more sleep deprivation and
More
it's
driving at
dark
night.
and more driving at night. Yeah, this is interesting. The National Golf Foundation estimated the extension of daylight saving time, so even doing it more, would increase the golf industry revenues by $200 to $300 million.
You mean by like extending it another hour or something?
By extending it another 7 weeks?
Oh, okay.
So instead of ending it now, we would maybe end it at the end. At the end of the year,
Okay.
or maybe like December 15th. I'm for it.
It's cold.
I
though.
want to maximize daylight. I think it's one of the worst things ever, having to go home after work and it's dark. Oh, it's horrible. I'm getting just mad right now thinking about
Well, it's already like that.
it. I know, but now, so next week it's going to be even worse. I always realize this. Like when I have to go up to Connecticut or something, it's dark at like 3:45. It's horrible.
Today's gonna be one of those days.
Yeah, I mean, if it's overcast, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, it's horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like.
This became kind of a political issue for some reason. Like I remember like on Veep, Jonah was saying like, we're gonna end daylight saving time.
This became a political issue.
Hilarious. A political issue on a show,
on
but this is where
on this satire television show.
hey, people then picked it up and ran with it like it was a real thing. I know that people always talk about this,
Jonah,
like they want to end it.
Congressman Ryan from New Hampshire. He said that
That's where we are now, Michael.
daylight savings time is bullshit.
That's where we are now. Media and
you know what
reality
else?
blend
You know what else?
together.
Math is bad because it was invented by Arabs.
Yeah, okay.
Says Jonah Ryan.
Says Jonah Ryan.
Yeah,
It's a political issue now.
that's right.
That is daylight saving time.
Well,
Daylight saving time.
I refuse to say it that way. One, it's gonna be daylight savings time forever. I'm still not sure if we're leaving daylight saving time now.
Yeah,
we're
it's
going
ending.
into
DST, daylight saving time, is ending.
so now from the third on, when you say your time, it'll be Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, because technically we're going back to standard time.
Right.
Like this, we're in a shift now. We're ending the shift. And we're going back to normal. It sucks.
Great.
Sucks.
Awesome.
When it happens, when you spring forward, oh man, it's one of the best things ever. When you leave work, you could work till 7, go home, and have like an hour and a half of light. You could go hit tennis balls, Sam. You could go run.
You could also
like
leave
I
work.
usually do.
You could
And I
also
tell
leave
Sam
work.
I'm going to go for a run and not hit tennis balls.
Yeah, you also leave work at like 6 and have even more time.
Yeah, but you got to
Then you
work.
gotta get in earlier, I guess. You
got to
do
work.
that.
One other thing I found a misconception. This came from National Treasure, the movie. They were like, Benjamin Franklin was the original proposer of this. Wrong.
Wrong. God, I have to just rethink everything. I've learned a lot from National Treasure, so I need to go back and rethink everything I know.
He said some things about like maximizing daylight, but like he didn't put it in such like a nice bow to be like we should at these dates fall back and all this stuff.
And that's why he was never president.
That's right. Well, he was mostly speaking to Parisians in this.
Ah, right.
Because that's where he was.
I'm talking about Ben Franklin.
That's what I'm talking about
I
too.
thought you were talking about Nick Cage.
He might be too.
Nick Cage. Excellent topic. I'm more confused than I was when we started. I'll have to go back and listen to the episode.
Good.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Send us some, tag us in your gender reveal parties.
Yeah.
Let us know what's going on.
Tell me what you know about your baby.
We'd love to see that. Also, everybody, Sunday, set your clocks back.
Don't forget.
That's right.
Enjoy the extra hour sleep.
Yes.
You'll be tired.
Does
the rest
anybody
of the
even have a
week.
clock anymore? My phone just does it automatically.
Your phone just does it automatically.
Yeah.
But remember the phone, my phone in Tennessee when we went back and forth across the border, screwed up.
Yeah, I'm still.
I almost missed a tea time.
Well, and now I don't know if your topic was time zones or daylight saving time.
I could do a follow up. I think time zones is one of the thing in our logo.
It is. It is. That's right. Perfect. Look at Michael's shirt, everybody.
Yep, Cannonball.
Cannonball Run. Beautiful.
Yep.
That was for anybody that's watching the video, not you guys listening on your phones right now. But
that's right.
Anyway, thanks so much for listening. This episode is going to drop Friday. We'll be back with another episode next week. 28.
See ya.